Well, there's another case that's just happened. Michaela Mackenzie. Does anyone remember Michaela Mackenzie? She was the very efficient admin officer of the party last year. There's a schism or a spat every single year. Right? Last year's schism or spat was Michaela Mackenzie. She worked very well in an office they opened in Stroud. I could tell you the madness of the opening of the office in Stroud. I won't go there now. But they opened an office in Stroud. She ended up in a squabble with the call centre because the call centre basically sent all the information garbled. And they get the postcode. All the postcodes they gave were Belfast postcodes and things, silly things like that. And they got the hump in the Stroud office because they were having to translate this garbled information. She raised her voice against the Belfast call centre. She was gone. And they didn't sack her in the right way. Again, since we've got Jim Dowson, the business consultant, we're supposed to do things right. Nothing is done right. The staff aren't dealt with in the right way. If you employ staff, you've got to deal with them in the right way, in the proper grievance procedure. Otherwise, you can't just say out if they've been working for you for a couple of years. You've got to go through a proper grievance procedure. Otherwise, they'll get you by the...
Take you to court.
Yeah. Now, she's not a bad person. I don't blame her. People say, oh, she's taken the party to court. But I really don't blame her because she was treated terribly. They could have paid her off with a proper amount of money. Even then, they could have settled with a sensible amount. But again, it's always double or quits. And it's never quits, it's always double. That's the way it always goes with this party. Her case... Now, if you're going to court, and you go to court, and after about 2 days you settle because you can see it's all going wrong, you're a bit of an idiot, in my opinion, because you should judge whether you've got a decent case or not. If you don't think you've got a decent case, you surrender before you even get to court because you've got all the court fees. But of course, we go halfway through the court, then settle. So we've got the court fees and the settlement and everything, and that was like 2 weeks ago. She was supposed to have been paid today in the terms of the settlement. The amount of the settlement, I know, but it's a secret. Because again, everything is done in secret. So you don't know how much your money is being flushed down the toilet. They're supposed to have paid her today, they haven't. They've missed the payment deadline. Now she can make Nick Griffin bankrupt now because of the stupidity of this situation that he and Dowson have got ourselves into. Now, because he's the chairman of our party, she can also take action against seizing all our party bank accounts. You know? It's getting to the stage, literally, where we're on the brink of having all our assets taken off us, all our bank accounts seized, and any money paid into it over the next year or however long it takes to clear the debts won't go to the party, it'll be sucked straight out to pay the people that we owe the money to. That is literally the seriousness of the situation we're in. We can't pay what the liabilities that the party has already got into. The fact you got that text today or yesterday, if you got those texts, is because they need to pay Michaela Mackenzie. They needed to pay today, they didn't. They haven't paid her. And it's not... Well, by the time the Equalities Commission comes around, it's going to be back to square one, because how are they going to pay them? November. Now, 3 years ago, there was another schism, and there's a case which is rumbling on. It's going to be heard in November, involving 3 ex-members of staff. And we're almost certainly going to lose. And if we settle now, it'll be about 45 grand.
45 grand?
Right? That's if we settle now. If we don't settle now, it's going to be about 120. Right? If it goes to court. If it goes to court, it's going to be about 120 grand. We're not going to have that money. If he manages to survive these particular appearances now, and I don't know when we're going to end up in High Court with the Equalities Commission, my guess is usually there's a bit of a waiting list to get on into the High Court. Could be quite a few months down the road. But when that happens, it's like, the simple fact is, the long and the short of it is, even if we survive all these things, and there are big stopping hurdles in our way to even survive, even if we do survive these, somehow, we'll have zero to spend on next year's vital Welsh and Scottish, Welsh Assembly, Scottish parliamentary elections, where we're hoping to make another breakthrough in the Welsh Assembly. We have zero money. every branch's account will be regularly cleared out. It's a massively serious situation, massively serious. That is why it's important. That was why it was important that he agreed to an independent internal investigation into our finances to give it a clean bill of health, so people would give money.